Tonight is Game 7 of the World Series with the Indians and the Cubs. Game 7 are the favorite words for every sports fan. It's Corey Kluber on the mound for the Indians, who's been very good this postseason, against Kyle Hendricks, the professor for the Chicago Cubs. Blake, who do you think's going to win?
I picked the Indians in 6, but that didn't happen. So I'm gonna keep the Indians because they got their ace Corey Kluber on the mound, who's absolutely dominated this postseason with a .89 ERA, and he's only allowed 3 runs in 30 1/3 innings this postseason.
I'm going with the Cubs, obviously. Kyle Hendricks is on the mound. He's got a 1.3 ERA, a 1.02 whip this postseason, but we all saw his performance in Game 6 of the NLCS when it was to get the Cubs to their first World Series since '45, when he pitched an absolutely dominant Game 6 against Clayton Kershaw. So Hendricks is no stranger to going up against the team's ace. And he is very cool under pressure, obviously, again, as in Game 6. And if he wins this, he'll be a Chicago legend for the rest of his life. The whole team will be. And I just think the Cubs have the momentum after scoring 9 runs last night. Before games 1 through 5 where they scored 9 runs collectively, they have the momentum, they have the want, they have everything they need to win, and Cleveland is left reeling after last night's performance.
Well, I believe the Indians are going to win because not only they have Kluber, but their bullpen is absolutely dominant. Has an ERA of 1.84 in 58 2/3 collective innings this year. See, Francona has really managed his bullpen spot on. Gets the starter to get in 4 1/3, 5 innings, and then turns it over to Andrew Miller, who dominates for 2 to 3 innings every game, and then they turn it over to their closer, and that's how they won. And the bullpen's healthy. They used a bunch of lower level guys last night when they knew they were not going to win, and just tried to scrap that game out. And Miller's healthy or rested. Kluber is on short rest, but he's proven that he can handle that.
Yeah, but it's his 3rd time pitching on short rest this series. Do you think he can handle that?
Well, yeah, I think he can handle it. Madison Bumgarner proved he can handle it.
But not every pitcher's Madison Bumgarner.
But he's proven he can handle it. He shut the Cubs down in back-to-back starts.
It's going to come down to – it's not going to be bullpens because Cleveland has a better bullpen, although
and the Cubs have milked their bullpen.
And the Cubs – it's Game 7. They're going to go all out. They're going to go Hendricks for however long he can, then Lester, then Chapman.
Now, Chapman threw a lot last night. So
he'll go again tonight.
But he's not going to be the same Chapman. He's not going to be sitting 101.
But what you're forgetting is this is Game 7 of the World Series. Yes, players get up for this. Chapman will be just fine. This is what he lives for.
But he doesn't – okay, Chapman throws 100 miles an hour.
Okay.
He's not built to go 8 outs in a game and throw 45 pitches like he did last night.
Rodano Ventura did it last World Series, and he throws the same kind of speed for the Royals.
But Chapman is not going to be able to stay consistent at 100 miles an hour tonight.
But
it doesn't matter how much adrenaline he has. He's not going to be the same effective Chapman.
I think he will be.
I mean, I don't think he will. I don't think he will.
Now, it'll be a bullpen battle, but it'll come down to whose bats can get going first, because the Indians haven't surrendered a lead with their bullpen since Game 3 of the ALCS. So it's going to be who can get off Kluber, and it's going to come down to Russell, Schwarber, Bryant, and Rizzo. And if any of those players can get going with the bats like they did last night, then it's going to be the Cubs series because they're pitching with Lester in the bullpen and with Chapman is going to be just as good as the Indians tonight. What do you think?
I think it's going to come down to Jason Kipnis and Mike Napoli for the Indians. Kipnis handled who pitched last night?
Trevor Bauer?
No, for the Cubs.
Josh Tomlin.
Well, Kipnis handled the Cubs pitching last night really well, and I think it's just going to be a collective effort of trying to get the whole lineup from Lindor down to Perez all the way through, trying to get on base and just link hits and walks together and try to score as many runs as possible and turn it over the bullpen and just let Andrew Miller just do his thing.
And I think both teams, the 3 days rest won't affect Kluber because it's the same thing with Chapman.
Mm-hmm.
They're both going, and it's the cruelest Game 7 ever because they both haven't won the series in a collective 176 years. The Cubs since 1908, the Indians since 1948.
Mm-hmm.
So either way, one drought's going to end. The 2 longest droughts in MLB history. There really is no winners because there's going to be so much heartbreak around whoever loses. I think the Cubs will do it. They'll become the 5th team to rally back from a 3-1 deficit in World Series history, and Cleveland won't be able to make 3-1 jokes anymore.
I think Cleveland's going to pull it out, and as LeBron's going to say, Cleveland, this is for you.